So in this life, you're either a somebody or you're a nobody. In this video, me, David, who's a nobody, is going to be talking about a somebody. And that somebody is Elon Musk. As that's what tends to happen. It's the nobodies that talk about the somebody. You know, there's all that talk about the man in the arena. And Elon Musk is very relevant within society right now. You know, he's the wealthiest man in the world. He's a very intelligent guy, you know, created a lot of profitable, successful businesses, and, you know, and many other things. So I'm going to be talking about Elon Musk as he's someone that, you know, I've been aware of for a while, and just give my opinion on whether he's a force for good or evil. You know, try and be as balanced as possible. Let's talk about Elon Musk. So from what I know is that he was raised in South Africa, and then he emigrated to America. And he's a very intelligent man, you know, high IQ, ambitious, driven, who, as of today, is the wealthiest man in the world. You know, recent reports was that he's the first ever trillionaire. You know, some of his business, such as like SpaceX and Tesla, you know, they're very valued. A lot of his wealth comes from the fact that people believe in him. People believe in his businesses. People believe that his businesses are going to be profitable in the future. So it's also based on speculation, as if you actually check the most profitable businesses in the world, the top 10, I don't think any of Elon Musk's businesses are there. It's that people value and people believe in him. He's also a bit of a personality as well. Like, obviously being wealthy, that makes you famous, but he also makes himself relevant a bit. I remember him being in one of the, was it Iron Man? You know, the whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency. He was involved in that Dogecoin. He now is the majority owner of Twitter, now known as X, as he changed it from Twitter to X. You know, Twitter is like online blog, newspaper. You can say people give their opinion, free speech. And I see that he wants Twitter to be more about free speech, as before you can argue was more left-wing biased, and he wants to amplify his views as well. As much as he wants it to be free speech, I do see him promoting whatever he believes his views are, which sometimes I don't know with Elon Musk, because for somebody that's that wealthy, he's obviously got very, very good traits about him. You know, he's in many ways an extraordinary individual in terms of how wealthy he is, how intelligent he is. I saw in an interview once, he said he sleeps 2 hours a day. You know, not everyone can get away with what he does. It's very unique in many ways. You know, he doesn't strike me as I wouldn't know personally, but he doesn't strike me as a very extroverted person, like charismatic, a connector. I think he connects through being very exceptional at things. Like, his work does the talking, basically. Yeah, whether or not he's a force for good, I do think because of what he's been able to achieve, he's set the bar where it's possible for them to be a trillionaire. But these kind of people, trillionaire, billionaires, it's always going to be a small percentage of people anyway. But he has shown it's possible. He's very into, you know, trying to go to space and things of that nature. Me personally, I'm happy with planet Earth. It's not even every country on this earth that I want to visit, but I do want to travel the world. But basically what I'm saying is I'm happy with the earth currently. But he seems to be more curious than that in terms of that. The Tesla as well, he wants to be in terms of future cars. He's involved in that. So this is a very forward-thinking, futuristic, ambitious person as well. Obviously with Twitter now, he's trying to change it. You know, you got this verification model. I don't know why a billionaire needs money you to pay on Twitter, but I'm sure he has his reasons to make the company more profitable, and then some of the people who get verified, they also can monetize. Though there's that, he wants to be involved in free speech, but I'm not sure, because like I said, there's commendable things about him, but then there's also, in terms of, okay, so let's start with one thing. Not to get too personal with him, but he is known that he has a lot of children with different mothers, and I wouldn't expect somebody of his intelligence to operate like that. Like, for instance, if you want to compare him to another public figure, somebody like NBA Youngboy, the famous rapper, he's got a lot of children with different mothers. I'm not saying NBA Youngboy is not intelligent, but I'm saying he's not as intelligent as Elon Musk. He also he has good things about him. That's why he's been able to succeed as a rapper. But he's definitely not an intellectual like the way Elon Musk is, in terms of his intellect and natural intelligence. An NBA Youngboy is from like a street background, sort of gangster. So he's kind of like in survival mode. So you can understand his short-term mating strategy. Like, he's not even thinking. Not that I know him personally, but the way there's a lot of rappers that have different baby moms, but they are from situations where they're in survival. Like, any day could be their last. So I understand more about them in comparison to someone like Elon Musk, who's very intelligent. So his one is more, I believe, calculated. He wants to procreate. I hear him say that a lot, like sex should be about procreation. So I believe he's someone that's thought out about it. Does he want many descendants? Is he thinking it over through the lens of being like a conqueror? People of the past like Genghis Khan, they had loads of children. Is that something that he's trying to do? I feel like he's a bit more strategic with that. But somebody of his intelligence, I'm sure he would be aware that polygamous relationships don't have the best results in terms of monogamy. Not to be too judgmental in his personal life, but all of these children in different homes is not really the most effective strategy. But one thing about him is he's got the money to be able to cater to this somewhat dysfunction. So there's that. And online a lot, he's a very against, I wouldn't say fully anti-immigration, but against certain type of immigrants. I see him promoting a lot, which is actually quite surprising considering he was an immigrant to America. But I don't feel like there's anything wrong with calling out negative immigrants who come to the country, to a particular country, just to cause chaos. But when it's full anti-immigration and people that just want to have a better life, or honest citizens are being targeted, then especially when it's the richest man in the world bringing a lot of focus in towards that. He seems to be very vocal about what's going on in Britain. I see him promoting Restore Party a lot. He has a right to do so. I think he's connected with Nigel Farage, who's from the Reform as well. Well, at least I saw a report somewhere that they know each other. He does have British ancestry, so maybe that's why he's curious. And England are a relevant country in terms of in the West. But I wonder why is he promoting this? Like, is he trying to turn the focus? Because some people look at the elite, which Elon Musk is definitely one of, who hoard the wealth and own the majority. So could it be a way of him distracting, whereas putting the focus on immigrants? I don't know. But it is interesting that he's, involving himself in that. And he's also someone who has a bit of a complicated relationship with Donald Trump. And he was very, very influential in terms of Donald Trump regaining and becoming president because of him being on X. He's a man of influence. So him promoting Donald Trump gives Donald Trump a somewhat good approval rating, but then I've seen him say negative things about Trump, saying he was on a certain island. 1 minute he's left wing, 1 minute he's right wing. I mean, he has a right to change his mind. I'm not really in a politics guy like that, and I don't feel like it's mandatory to stay at one party. But you just never know where Elon Musk actually, what he stands for. Like, I'm not sure if he's Christian or if he's atheist, agnostic. I don't know where his belief system is. How he's also had children is, you look at that, and then what he's promoting online. But I do think his Twitter X is more fair. At least the opposing view, he gives them a right to have their opposing view, even though a lot of his, right wing is promoted a lot now. But before, I do feel like it was catered towards left wing. So at least he is consistent with that. He does give his opposing views at least a voice. So yeah, Elon Musk is someone who's very relevant in society. Being the first trillionaire. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. He's obviously got good things about him in terms of highly intelligent guy, highly competent guy, very ambitious, very futuristic, probably thinks far different and ahead of the average person. Like, the things that are in his head is probably the average person cannot grasp. He's definitely an extraordinary person in a lot of ways, but I do not idol worship people. I can give you credit for the good things about you, but I don't believe in worshiping another human being, even if the human being is extraordinary in many ways, which Elon Musk is. In terms of him being a force for good or a force for evil, right now, I would say you've got to contextualize it, and it's never one or the other. I wouldn't say he's an evil man. I don't know him personally. A lot of people have their opinions on rich people, and that you can't get to that level of wealth without being a somewhat immoral person. But I don't know him personally to give that conclusion. And also whether him being rich, I mean, I guess it employs more people. So there's positives in regards to the amount of money he makes. As he helps the economy, he solves a lot of problems, hence why he been able to attain all this wealth. So I'll probably say I'm in between. I don't know whether he's a force for good. He has done some questionable things, like how he's raising children. For somebody of that intelligence to be, just into polygamy, but he's also someone that has the money to be able to do that. Money does help. Whether or not some people are really against him, they believe he's promoting white supremacy, he's promoting anti-immigration, he's promoting this and that. I wouldn't say he's fully doing that, but he's given certain kind of people a voice, I guess. But yeah, Elon Musk is an interesting guy. Also, very in terms of the speculation, people have a lot of belief in him, hence why he is in the position where he is. A lot of people feel like he has $1 trillion in cash, which isn't the case. He does probably have a lot of money, definitely have a lot of money. It's not even probably, but a lot of that is also down to the fact that the stock market as well helps him. But yeah, Elon Musk, I just wanted to talk about him. He's one of the most relevant people on earth, and whether he's a force for good or a force for evil, and I feel like it is somewhere in between.